Portsmouth Public School parents and administrators scratching their heads tonight. They're not sure why more than $5 million they thought was meant for the school district will not end up in the city's pocket.
But the city says there's nothing to be concerned about. The money will be there if and when they need it. 13 News Now reporter Robert Boyd is live in the studio.
Well, the big issue here, according to the school district, is communication or lack thereof. They feel like the city needs to be a lot more transparent when you're talking about millions of dollars in funding.
That caught us all off guard because there hadn't been any discussion about it, and we met last week.
Portsmouth Public School's Superintendent Eli Bracey was expecting City Council to appropriate $5.1 million into the school district's risk management fund. But Bracey says at the last minute, things changed.
The city is saying that they found a 45-year-old code that they shared with us this afternoon that they're going to follow now.
Because of this code, the city has adopted a new ordinance that puts that $5.1 million into their own budget, called the School Board Risk Management and Insurance Fund.
In no way is this money being taken by the city.
The city says the money is still set aside for the school district, only now they have to ask permission in order to use it.
Basically, the money is there. If you need it, come talk to the city manager. But we need to sit down and talk about that process.
Bracey says this emergency funding needs to be easily accessible if and when needed. He's afraid the city could present unnecessary hoops to jump through.
Let's say an employee has a medical condition and their cost exceeds an enormous amount, then we can go and pull from that.
City Councilman Bill Moody agreed that the process could have been handled better. He was one of 2 council members to vote against the new ordinance.
If we're going to improve and build on trust between the school board and city council, we got to make sure that both parties are on the same wavelength.
Now, there were also a number of parents at tonight's meeting that spoke out against the city in regards to how they handled this matter. Robert Boyd, 13 News Now.